Thanks for catching the replay. We are talking about the Lashpreneur Society today, what it is. I'm answering questions. I've been getting a lot of messages with people wanting to know about the Lashpreneur Society, so I'm going to address all of the questions. Feel free to ask your questions. I am responding to every single message I get, so don't feel like I'm going to be one of those influencers who doesn't respond. I respond to every single one. Hi guys, thanks for jumping on. So let's start off with, what is the Lashpreneur Society? So I used to call it my group coaching program. And then when I realized how the direction I wanted to take the this group coaching program, it really wasn't reflective of group coaching program because it was so much more. Hi, thanks for jumping on. So I'm going to go over what the Lashpreneur Society is. It's been totally revamped, overhauled. It's a brand new program. It's just I've taken the current members that were in my group coaching and moved them into the Lashpreneur Society. And so they've kind of seen that transition and been watching behind the scenes as I've gone through this. So the Lashpreneur Society is group business coaching. It is 100% online. There are many components to it, which I'll go over, but the two main ones are, one, there is the Lash Artist Success Path, and this is essentially an online course, the step-by-steps of getting you from overlooked to fully booked and beyond in your business, because it's not just enough for you to get to fully booked, because once you get there, you're like, well, what now? And a lot of people think, oh, I should hire staff, but then they haven't raised their prices, or they don't want to deal with managing a team, or they don't have time to interview the right types of people, and they're dealing with constant headaches of turnover. So I go into what's beyond fully booked and kind of strategies to get you to that next level in your business, because there's life after fully booked, believe it or not. Hi guys, thanks for jumping on. We're talking about the Lashpreneur Society. If you have questions, let me know. So there is the Lash Artist Success Path. So that is the start, the build, and the grow module. So 3 modules with a variety of trainings inside of there. The way that we've got it formatted right now is that we're only allowing access to the start module for the first couple weeks because it's a lot of information, and I want to make sure that people are going through it and not just jumping to the other things. Because a lot of lash artists skip over the important foundational aspects of running a business. So even if you've been a business owner for 4 or 5 years, there's likely steps that when you started, you didn't even know that you needed, or that were a priority, or that you skipped over. That if you don't fix those now, growing your business is only going to show the cracks in your foundation, and it could actually end up harming you and potentially affecting your ability to keep your doors open. So we're talking not only like boundaries and policies, but setting a schedule, having your contracts looked at to make sure that they are actually legally enforceable, to make sure that you have insurance, to make sure that you have your finances in order and you understand a profit and loss statement. I go over all of that. So the start module is not so much start your lash business, it's identifying all the hats we wear as business owners when we first start out and making sure that you understand everything that you need to do as a business owner. That's what the start module is all about. So when you think start, don't think, oh, it's only for people starting their business. It's all of the things that you need to understand as a business owner that you may not even have known when you started your business. Then the build module releases, and we are releasing that come August 1st. The build and the grow modules will release. Everything is self-paced. It's all DIY. We are doing Q&A sessions every month per module. So we will have a start specific Q&A session. So that way that we're not getting questions from build and grow, and the people who are having trouble getting through start are confused as to, or feel like they're not where they should be. Each module will have its very own Q&A session so that I can focus solely on the people who are getting stuck or having a hard time moving through the material or implementing, or have questions, that they get access to me in the level that they're at and in the module that they're at. So that's one way that you get support. There's also the Facebook group where we have specific hashtags for each module that me and my moderators search based on the hashtag, so we understand the questions that are coming up for that individual module. Because again, people are going to go at their different paces, at their own rates, and I don't want somebody to feel the pressure to move forward, or that they're getting defeated because everybody else seems to be so much further ahead. Everybody goes at their own rates. Everybody consumes and implements the material as needed. So in no way, shape, or form should anybody feel like there's this pressure to move forward. I really want you to move at your own pace, but I also want you to keep moving. And so having access to me, my team, my moderators, the other members in the group is the way that we do that. So yeah, that's the start module. Build, Marketing Mastery Club is where Build is stored now. So Build is all about marketing, right? That's my jam. If we could spend all day, every day in the Build mode, we would. So that has 4 of the modules inside of 4 of the lessons from Marketing Mastery Club. The MFC, your most favorite client training, the USP, your unique selling point training, your website, which is a really popular one that a lot of people are like, I had no idea your website could be so much and do so much for you. A pretty website is not going to convert you clients. There was actually a woman last night that I did a quickie little glance at her website, and I was like, it's beautiful, but I see why it's not bringing you clients, because it was, I identified that on her homepage it mentioned me, I, and her name 16 times, and it only talked about the client 3 times on her entire homepage. That's just one kind of little tip that your website is not about you, it's about the client. So we go over website in the Build module, and then Instagram. That's my most popular training, is my Instagram training, the Master Your Gram Game training, where we get into how to use this amazing platform to get clients actually into your business. Screw your follower count. You could have 100 followers and be making buku bucks in your business, and you also conversely can have tens of thousands of followers and have 0 people coming into your business. So we talk about effective strategies regardless of your follower count to get clients into your business, to convert them off of the app and into your business. So that's the Instagram training. And then in the Build module, we also focus on retaining clients and their retention. Right? Retain and retention. So this is where I do an adhesive training. So if you have 0 idea why you keep going through glues, or you can't find a glue that works, it's not your glue. It's actually you. You don't know how to use it. You don't understand the science that happens through it. So I have an adhesive training that I go through so that it doesn't make sense for you to continue to draw in clients if you can't keep them. You'll forever be getting clients in the door, but it's like pouring water into a leaky bucket. They just keep pouring out the bottom, and you just have to get new and new clients. We actually want to get you to being fully booked, which means that you are fully booked with return touch-up clients or fill clients that come back every 2 to 3 weeks consistently. That's what fully booked means, is that you're fully booked with touch-up clients and you have no more room for new sets, and you actually have a hard time getting in your current clients because you have less flexibility in your schedule and less openings that they have to stick to their assigned date. So we go over all of that. And then also how to retain clients, how to get them coming back, how to get them pre-booking, and yeah, get them the results that they want so they're coming back month after month after month, right? That's the whole goal. And then lastly is the Grow module. And this is where you get to be the CLO of your business, your Chief Lash Officer. I know, God, so cheesy, but okay, that's online marketing, right? So this is working smarter and not harder in your business, right? There's an actual strategy behind that. It's not just this saying where it sounds nice. Like, there's an actual strategy to working smarter and not harder. A lot of you are working harder and it's not paying off for you. You're spending as many hours as conceivable in your business, and yet you have nothing to show for it. So how do you start to work smarter and focus your energy and your time and your money on the right things to move your business forward, to build a business and a life that you love, as opposed to just spinning your wheels and not having anything to show for it and not getting anywhere anytime soon? It also talks about mastering your lash artistry and how you grow your craft and take trainings and continuing your education to become a better lash artist, to become the go-to expert in your city, as well as growing your business. And then what's next? What's next for you after being fully booked? We go over a lot of mindset shifts here of not being an employee in your business and actually being an entrepreneur. And what's the big picture here? What's the 5-year plan? What's the 10-year plan? So that's all where Grow focuses on. So that would be the modules. So that's kind of an e-course format. Then the second component to the Lashpreneur Society is the ongoing monthly mini trainings. So what I found is that how I used to format the group coaching is I would do hour-long trainings, and they were either once a month or once every other week, and they were me going deep on one topic. An hour is a really long time for people to carve out time to be able to focus on learning, right? So a lot of people just weren't getting through the entire hour, or they were getting behind because they found an hour here this week and maybe an hour there. Like, life just gets in the way. So in reevaluating this program, I realized, you know what? Even I don't take an hour to sit and watch a training. It's really hard to me. I was on a coaching call with one of my mentors the other day. That was 3 hours for a course I'm in. And I was like, oh God, I had to take a nap halfway through. I woke up and it was still going. Like, it was way too long. Good stuff, but there's only so much time and energy I can devote to that. So we do monthly mini trainings that are bite-sized. You should be able to do them in about 10-20 minutes a week to help you master and grow your business savvy. So just as a heads up, kind of some topics that are coming up that we've already mapped out for the year. We've got a branding training. So this is not massive, overwhelming branding training. I'm literally handing you worksheets, guides, videos that you can do in 5 or 10 minutes to get an idea of what branding is, because it seems to be this like unicorn concept that it's really hard to grasp what it is. We're going to cover it. Instagram growth hack. So not just Instagram and not just what to post, but how to actually grow Instagram. Because yes, followers, whatever, that's not as important, but it does help if you are getting the right types of followers. So if you can grow the right types of following and how to do that and how to be strategic about reaching and getting in front of your potential client through Instagram, we're going to focus all on that. And most of it, actually all of it that I'm teaching for that month is free, right? It's growth, it's organic reach. Other monthly trainings we're doing, so the holidays. I have so much planned for the holidays to get you rocking because there's so much demand for our services during the holidays. So October is all about prepping and planning for the holidays. Not just like, hey, go buy some decor, but like how you can look at your schedule for November and December and make sure that you're not working 80 hours a week and killing your body, but how you can be intentional about mapping out your marketing plan, what you're going to do for promotions, if you're going to do any, what retail you need to have, just getting everything prepped and planned in October. And then in November, we're focusing on Facebook ads for the holidays. And because I love Facebook ads, I run them constantly. You may have seen the ones that I'm running for the Lashpreneur Society. Just look for the little sponsored tag under my name. I may or may not be creating templates that you can copy and paste into a Facebook ad to try and grow your business so you don't have to figure out what to say and what to post. Maybe. I'm just going to throw that out there. And speaking of bonuses, there is a bonus if you sign up during this registration period. That is my Facebook Ads for Amateurs course, which essentially used to be mastering your Facebook ads inside your Marketing Mastery Club, but I decided to take that out and have it just be a bonus for this registration period because I want to create an online course for Facebook ads. That's coming in the future. So I didn't want to have that be included for free when I'm going to do an entire built-out training. Plus, Facebook ads are always changing, so what I have currently for Facebook ads in a week's time may change, and so I don't want to have it constantly be living in Marketing Mastery Club, that curriculum, if I need to keep updating it. It needs to be its own program. So, just as a heads up. And then in December, we're doing goal planning. Some people don't think goal planning works. It's because you're doing it wrong. Goal planning for my business has been transformational in how I approach business, how I make decisions, how I prioritize my time, where I put my energy and my money. So we're going to go over that in December. So that's just a heads up on what's ahead for the monthly mini trainings. And we'll get into your questions in a second. I see a bunch popping up, so thank you. And then there are perks, which I posted about today on Instagram stories. Again, the live Q&A sessions. So we will have 4 Q&A sessions a month, I believe. So there's one Q&A session per module. So depending on what module you're in, you'll show up to whatever one that you want if you have questions and you're getting stuck. And then we'll have one Q&A session that is about the monthly mini training. So, you know, if we're doing branding next month and you have questions about branding, yes, you can ask in the Facebook group, or you can also attend the Q&A session. All of our live sessions will be in a free teleconferencing software called Zoom. It's not within the Facebook group because I don't want to crowd up the Facebook group, and I really want that to be your guys' community. I'm in there for sure and I'm answering questions, but it really is a way for you guys to foster a community and get your questions answered and have that support that a lot of us are missing in our everyday life of being Lash business owners. So also in Zoom, I can record them, right? And so I can also strip the audio and have the video so they're available for replays. That's why we do it in Zoom. So if you've ever listened to the podcast, that's the audio that I've stripped from Zoom. So there's 2 ways to consume the replays, either through audio or through video, just depending on if you like podcast style and you're driving to work and you want to listen to the replay. So then you also get 10% off of all Lashpreneur products and services. So we are actually building out our Marketing Made Easy program as soon as I'm done with this launch to include a lot of assets to your business to be able to just copy and paste your marketing. We're talking blogs, we're talking email newsletters, we're talking more social media images. I've got a couple of ideas, but I kind of don't want to talk about them. We'll just have to wait and see. So you would get 10% off of all of that. In addition to your membership, we are actually doing exclusive social media posts for members only that are not available to purchase. So you'll get 5 social media images a month that are month-based. So this Marketing Made Easy products that I have where you copy, paste, and post social media images and the caption templates that I provide for you are topic-based. So we have aftercare, we have coffee, we have moms, a whole bunch of different topics. The ones that we're doing inside the group are month-based. So all of the members for July will get 5 images to use in August. So back to school for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere happens in August. So there's a post about that. It's like fun holidays. Like if there's a National Margarita Day, we're going to do a post about that. Just so you have timed specific dates that you would post these posts so that they're relevant to your client, they're kind of fun, and they're engaging, and they're valuable to your followers. So then we also do monthly graduations. So every month we will announce the people that have moved on in the course to the next module, that they've graduated into the next level. That's for 2 reasons. One, it's inspiring to see people moving and progressing in their business. There is a what do you call that? Totally blanking on the word. Let me see if I wrote it up. Anyways, there's something you have to do at the end of every module in order to graduate into the next module. And so that's a huge milestone. That's what I was thinking. There's a milestone that happens in your business that gets you to move into the next level. So for the start module, it's that you are full-time into your lash business. You're supported by your lash business. So there are a mix of people who are already in that place, and there's people who are just starting out or who are still working their side hustles. And the whole point of the start is to get you to be working in your lash business full-time. The build module is getting you to be fully booked. You graduate the build module when you are a fully booked lash artist, and I have a formula for you to follow to know when you've kind of reached that point so that you can go into the grow. And then your grow, you graduate into being a Lashpreneur, your CLO, right? The Chief Lash Officer. And once you've completed the course part of it, that's when the fun really starts to happen. We start working on a lot of mindset stuff. But you get, you graduate each level, and we celebrate the big wins and the small in the group because there's so much negativity in the world, and there's so much stress that comes along with being business owners that we got to take the wins when we can. And so celebrating everybody who's moving forward in their business and progressing is something that is really important to me and to my team. Then, here's the thing, and we'll get into this affiliate program in a second, but there is an affiliate program that pays out very generously, and we'll get to that in just a second. And then we're also doing, master classes are something that I'm going to start doing once a quarter, and this is not just me teaching. I'm actually going to bring on subject matter experts, both inside and outside of the lash industry. Guys, what I teach is not specific to lash business. It is, but it isn't. What I teach is business. It's basic business principles that apply to not just anybody in the beauty industry, but like if you want to sell tires, you can still learn what I have to teach and sell tires. So there are subject matter experts that I have relationships with that are outside of the industry that can absolutely impact the way that you run your business. And there's also things that I do not want to teach inside of this group because they're either too advanced or I just am not passionate about it, but I do know that there's a need for that kind of information in the industry. So we're going to offer once a quarter master classes, and there will be a charge to it, no more than $100, I wouldn't think, maybe in the 75 to 97 range. They're going to be 1 to 2 hours once a quarter, but for my members, you guys get either a significant discount or once you reach the Grow module, you get them for free. So there will be a capped registration. We're not sure what that number is for the master classes, but my members will get first access. And if there's any registration spots open, then we will open it up to the public. But like, for instance, expansion and hiring on staff, it's not something I'm passionate about teaching. I have taught many a lash artist on how to do that legally here, at least in the US. And yep, all of them said that that was not something that they actually thought that it was going to be like. They didn't realize that you would actually be a of a lash artist and have less time for lashing, and you would actually be busier just managing your staff and running your business. It's not this, you bring on people and you have more time. Promise you, it's not, especially when it's done legally. And if you're doing it illegally, well, I'm not going to teach you to do anything illegal. So, sorry, not for you. But there are people who can teach you that, and there are people who can give you that step by step. And I absolutely want to facilitate those that it is a right fit for you to bring on staff. I'm just not doing that within the Lashpreneur Society. So I do want to have the opportunity for you to get that information. It's just going to be in a masterclass format. Let's see. And then also we have the Facebook group. Facebook group that I have a community manager now. Her name is Kat. She's amazing. She's been a member for over a year. She's been very involved with me and has just really been a shining star for me in the group. And she was a hands down no-brainer to be the person to facilitate this community and be like an influencer in this community. And then I have a team of moderators. These are all women who have been with me for quite a while inside the group as paid members, and they're just volunteering and saying, yeah, I want to support and facilitate this community. So we will be introducing them during our welcome week next week once we close registration. All right, let's get to some questions. Let me see if there's anything else I need to address. Bonuses, let's talk about bonuses. I haven't talked about those much. So we have the Facebook ads for amateurs training, so that you will get access to. We also have a Plan Your Gram training. So this one is how you plan an entire month's worth of social media posts in one day. So for those of you who don't know what to post, or you hate going on social media every day, or you're just not posting because you just don't know what to post, I go through an entire training of how you can take one day and map out your entire month's worth of social media posts, schedule it, set it, forget it kind of a thing. But you do have to go in and actually respond to comments and engage with your community, but you don't have to create the wheel every single day. So that is a free training that comes with your registration for this period only. That won't be a bonus again in the future. And then obviously Marketing Mastery Club, which is my signature marketing program. I am no longer offering that as a standalone program again. It is now included inside of your membership. All right, so what is the cost? $1 million. No, but the trainings are worth about $2,000. But I'm not charging you $2,000. I'm not even charging you $1,000. I'm not even charging you $100. It is $49 US a month. Every month. As long as you want to be a member. There's no contract, there's no commitment, there's no bait and switch. Literally, if you sign up today and you're like, this really isn't for me, cancel. And guess what? I make it easy for you to cancel. You go into your members portal and you cancel. We don't have to have this awkward, like, it's not me, it's you conversation. I really liked it, I just didn't have the time. We don't have to have a conversation about it. If it's not for you, I don't want you wasting your money. I don't want you could be spending that money in other places, but it's up to me, and it's my challenge to get you to want to stay every single month and to provide value that's beyond the $49 a month. So what are some objections to the $49 a month? That's a lot of money for some people. Believe me, I've been there. When I invested in my business coaching way back in the day, I was 3 months into my business, crickets in my books. And this business coach that I had found that was local was $1,500 for 6 weeks, meeting once a week. So 6 one-hour sessions with her, and we only focused on one aspect of the business. She's really good at closing a deal, and she got me to, because I was like, no, let me talk with my husband about it, knowing like we didn't have that money. And she got me to commit to it, and that left me with $40 in our checking account. My husband had gone back to school after getting out of the military. My son was, at that time he was 14 or 15 months old, and I was the only one who was supposed to be bringing him money, but I had no clients, and then I just dropped $1,500 on a business coach that left us with $40. But it was kind of my do or die moment. It was sink or swim, right? So the transformation that happened after that, I hated the coaching. I didn't continue on with her after that because I was fighting against her so much, because I was like, I know this, I should know this stuff. Like, I have a business degree, I have corporate sales marketing training, and I was just like, why is this not clicking for me? It took about week 4, and I kept pushing her off too. So it actually ended up being about 9 weeks of time, even though we only had the 6 sessions. I pushed her off, and then finally around week 4, it clicked for me. I was like, oh, this is what I should be doing. This is a lot of what I teach, was what I kind of learned through that process. And so within 3 months of signing up for training, I was profitable, which meant that I was paying myself, I had consistent income coming in, and I was more than covering my expenses. 6 months after my business coaching training, I had a wait list. I was fully booked. After that, it was, so I took my business coaching in February and March of that year. By November, I stopped accepting new clients. And in January, which I never recommend raising your prices in January unless you want to be intentional about dropping off clients, I raised my prices to be some of the highest in my saturated market. So business coaching definitely was that mindset shift. So here's how I break it down. $49 a month, even if you're in a different country and the exchange rate is different. You need one client. That's it. One single client from what you learn in the Lashpreneur Society that comes back once a month and pays their touch-ups will pay for your membership. If they keep coming back consistently once a month, they pay for your membership. But our clients don't come back just once a month, do they? They come back every 2 to 3 weeks. So you need less than one client a month to come back for their regular touch-ups, and your membership is covered. Can you find one client a month right now to cover your membership? If I can't get you one client out of however long you're going to be a member, I should probably quit my job and go work for somebody else where I don't have to make promises I can't keep, right? Okay, so now you're kind of chewing on it. Oh, well, that doesn't seem that crazy. It breaks down to $1.63 a day. I'm sure you probably spend more on a pack of gum than $1.63 a day. How about Starbucks? I am teaching you how to make money. So if it breaks down to $1.63 a day to move your business forward, to teach you not only how to make $1.63 a day, but how to get more $1.63s in clients, how to get more money in clients, I'm teaching you how to make money. I'm teaching you how to create money on demand. And not only that, because money is a poor motivator. If you guys don't know that, money is poor motivation. I know when you're struggling and you're hurting for money, it's pretty motivating. But actually what is going to fulfill you, and the reason why you got in business was not to make buku bucks. And if you did, then I'm not the right person for you, because I'm not going to teach you how to make buku bucks. Making buku bucks, that's how people end up working 80 hours a week, killing their bodies and not having a personal life to show for it, or not having any sort of movement in the progress of their life. What I want for you is a business and a life that you love. There's work-life balance. There is being able to spend and enjoy the money and the fruits of your labor, and enjoying and having pride in yourself and confidence in yourself in what you've created from nothing. That's what being an entrepreneur is. We create something from nothing. The business didn't exist, it now does exist, and it's our job to create demand for what we have to offer. That's all business is. It's very simple. So yeah, I can teach you how to make money, but that's not my goal. It's not my goal to teach you to make money. It's my goal to get you to a place where you are so confident in yourself and you know that you don't have to ever be in the struggle place again, that you feel empowered to be in control of your life and in your decisions. And part of that is taking 100% responsibility for your business being a reflection of how you've run to this point. So if you're struggling or if you're unhappy in your business, it has nothing to do with your saturated market or the lower priced lash artists in the area, or I don't know, what are the other excuses? I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money. It has everything to do with you and your mindset that has gotten you to where you are. What got you here won't get you there. So that's what a lot of what I like to focus on inside the group is that you don't need my permission. You don't need me to tell you what to do. I can help guide you along the way, but really it's going to be up to you to make the business that you want. I can't come in and do the lashes for you and talk to the clients for you. I can teach you what to say, I can teach you to think for yourself, and I can teach you how to evaluate the decisions that are going to be right for you and not base it on what anybody else thinks that your path should be. And that's a lot of what I do inside the Lashpreneur Society. Also, I can pay you to be a member. What? Where is this coming from, Tara? So we offer, like I said, a generous ambassador program. So we pay out $20 for every member you send in. So if you will get an individual link that you share with whoever you're talking to or messaging with about the group. And so if your membership is $49 a month US and you refer 3 new members a month, we are paying you to be a part of the group. So this whole, I don't have enough money or it's too expensive, if you want to be paid to be a part of the group, we're offering you that opportunity. If not, maybe it's just 1 member a month. Maybe you go into one of the big forums and you say, hey guys, here's this amazing resource. You kind of share your experience with it and how it's helped you. because it will, and you're genuine about it, and you say, hey, if you're interested, here's more information, and you share your link and somebody signs up through that, boom, $20 for you. You get $20 off your membership. We actually send you the money. It's not like we take it off your monthly fee. We send that to you, so it debits to whatever it is that you've signed up card-wise. So there's that. And entrepreneurs can make money on demand, like I mentioned. We can create money from nothing. Like if you offer $20 full sets, you can have money today, right? You get 5 clients in, you make $100. Now, obviously we don't want to work for that money, but the concept is that you can make money on demand. You don't have to wait for a raise or a paycheck or a payday. Like if you want money today, go make it. So could you, to cover the cost of this program, your investment in yourself in this program, could you raise your price? Would even $5 a month of an increase that your clients are going to be like, that's nothing. Could you raise your prices by $5 and more than cover the cost of the membership so you can be able to do this so that not only are you raising your prices $5, but maybe $15 or $20, where you're actually starting to have a lot more green in your business. Could you set aside money every month to cover your membership? Could you set aside your tips? Could the money you make in tips in a day or a week be enough to cover your membership? What about any other subscriptions that are just auto-debiting out of your account? Could you maybe pause those or cancel those? I have one app that is a running app that for some reason is charging me, I think it's $7.99 every month. And I've been paying it for about 14 months and I just keep forgetting to go in and cancel the damn app. My husband has an Audible account that charges us $14.99 every month. We don't have time to read or listen to Audible books. And yet it is coming out every single month. Is there something that you can get rid of, restrict, sacrifice in order to be able to afford this membership so that you can move your business forward and those $7.99, $9.99, $10.99, $20.99 programs are like not even on your radar because you're making so much money that $7.99 coming out every month for something you don't use, you're like, huh, what? And then I have no doubt, just so you know what's happening here, that this is going to be a $97 a month program in the future. But when you sign up, you are locked in at the rate that you sign up for. So I have no doubt that it'll be $97 because it will be so transformational and people will be getting more than that in their return on an investment because of what the training is. So just keep that in mind that you are locked in at the rate that you sign up for as long as you are a member. Now, if you sign up and you cancel and the rate has gone up, you are at the new rate. So everybody is grandfathered in. Are you locked into a contract? No, you are not. Again, if this program isn't right for you, it doesn't do me any good to just sit there and collect your money. Like the reason why there's a fee to it and the reason why the fee is what it is because you pay attention when you pay. If I had this be a $19 program, there'd be a lot of people coming in, but there wouldn't be a lot of transformations. It's a win-win for you and for me if I get success stories out of you. So you might have seen some of the interviews I've been doing. You might have seen some of the member highlights. That's marketing for me to get new members in, but those members are killing it. If you saw yesterday, I posted Manuela. If you're watching Manuela, message me back. She's so busy she can't schedule time for me in order to do an interview with her for 10 minutes to show off how amazing she's done over the past year of working with me. Like that's not a bad problem to have, and I only have myself to blame for that, right? But that's what I want for you guys. So no, you're not locked into a contract. I want you to be successful. I want me to be successful. And guess what? We get to do that together. Okay, moving on. How long does it take to complete the training? So, like I said, the e-course aspect of it is self-paced. So it really depends on your business experience, where you're at in your business, how much time you're willing to devote. It could take you 6 weeks and you'd be through the course. But again, we've got those ongoing monthly mini trainings. This is not something that, like an e-course, where when you're done, you're done. There's a reason for you to be staying on month to month, but it just depends on how long you want to take for that and whether the membership is right for you. Again, no contracts. Oh, there's Manuela. Miss MRL Lash Extension has enough time to jump on the Facebook Live or the Instagram Live, but she doesn't have enough time to jump on and share her testimony. I see Manuela. Anyways, girl, I love you. Message me back. So you have lifetime access to the course. As long as you're a current member, as we update it, you will get all the updates because I'm not going to restrict people from new information. Like if Instagram changes and we change the Instagram training, guess what? You get to learn that, and we would make an announcement that, hey, we've updated this content. So lifetime access. if we do new trainings, if we build out, one of the modules a little bit more because, people are having more questions and we want to address it inside the trainings, we'll do that too. And you get access to all of that. So as long as you're a member, you get access to everything in there. So it really depends. Because this is a new format, we don't have the data to say, well, on average, it takes people X amount of time to go through it. Once kind of people have started going through the course, then we'll kind of have a better idea. So it really just depends. Michelle's on here too, MJR Lashes. She knows the feeling. Oh, well, I'm busy this week. I don't know if I can get you scheduled. Apparently I have to book out an appointment months in advance with these chicks. If I'm in a different country and have different rules and laws, will this group benefit me is another question I get. Okay, so far we have members in New Zealand, Australia, Jamaica. I've had one in Amsterdam, one in somewhere in Africa. I'm completely blanking on where she's from. There's one from Taiwan. There's a couple from the Caribbean. So what I teach, when I teach on something that is US specific or even California specific, because we're a weird, super strict kind of place, I preface that first and I say, this is just specific to the US or this is just specific to California as an example. I am not a lawyer and I am not an accountant. I can give you the concepts, but I can't give you advice. It would be out of my scope of practice. So there is some research that you would need to do on the laws and regulations of your country and state, and I can help you figure out where to find that information. But I don't teach on things that are so specific to the US or to California that it wouldn't apply to anybody in another part of the world. What I'm teaching, again, is basic business principles and marketing and sales and operations and policies, and I'm bringing in experts. I do 3 interviews with my go-to lawyer, Tamsin Horton. She is the owner of Lashing Legally. She calls herself the lawyer that doesn't suck. She has taken pity on our poor little industry and said, you guys need some legal guidance. So I do 3 interviews with her. She is US based, but she can absolutely lead you in the right direction or help you kind of get the legal stuff of your business figured out, whether that's trademarking, whether that's your contracts, your policies, anything like that. She's kind of my go-to person for that. So we do 3 interviews with her in the START module, and we will be bringing her back for a masterclass in the future. All right. And I know you Canadians are very loose with your laws and your regulations, all of that, but the thing is that in order for you to have a stable business, you need to treat it as a business. So even Starbucks in Canada has their lawyers have contracts and, boundaries and laws, following laws, compliant, all that kind of stuff. So yes, maybe you're not as too happy as we are here in the US, but you do need to protect yourself and your business and your livelihood with some sort of form of contract and client agreement. Because accidents happen, guys. Like if somebody, if they have an allergic reaction to the glue and it blinds them, you don't think that they're going to come after you and want something, so you need to have something that protects you and your business. Anyways, moving on. So countries, location is irrelevant. If you are following me, I assume you've gotten value of what I teach. And if you're in a different country than I am and you still get value and you're still able to take what I say and implement it, then there's no reason why the Lashpreneur Society wouldn't be appropriate for you. Moving on. What if I haven't started my lash business? I actually just came up with an entire prep and planning guide for those of you who are not working as lash artists yet or only doing it maybe once or twice a week. And that is free on the website, lashpreneur.com, under the Start Your Biz. It's a prep and planning guide to go through all of the steps of getting started on a business. So go through that prep and planning guide if you're kind of worried that the Lashpreneur Society is going to be too advanced for where you're at. If you've done most of the things in that guide, then the Lashpreneur Society is the next step. If you are not a lash artist yet, or you are not you're working under somebody else, you're an employee, go do that prep and planning guide first, read through it. If you're kind of like, yeah, I've done most of this, or I'm ready to do this, then the Lashpreneur Society is the next step for you. Will I be offering Marketing Mastery Club again? Nope. No. Marketing Mastery Club was a 6-week live workshop online. So every Monday we would do a live training, and then you would have homework for that week, and then you'd move on to the next thing. And then I gave people 2 weeks of an extension to watch the replays. And the reason why I wanted it live is because I know a lot of times when there's courses that people just never finish them, and I wanted to make people finish it. I wanted you to have to show up and there to be a pain point if you didn't show up and watch the trainings. People still didn't show up and watch the trainings. They wanted extensions, a million excuses happened, and I was like, you know what? It really, because this information is so valuable to our community, because it's just not taught and it's not understood and it's what's holding people back, I wanted it to be affordable. And so that's why it's inside the Lashpreneur Society now. And so that you can, I have people who want to take Marketing Mastery Club again and again and again and again because they learn something new every single time. When you watch it the first time, you'll have a bunch of light bulbs, but I encourage you to go back through the trainings again once you've reached a new level, because every time you raise your prices or you do a change in your business, you need to remarket and kind of shift how you're doing your marketing, and so you can watch these trainings again and get a whole new perspective. I've had people who are not business owners yet go through Marketing Mastery Club, and I've had business owners who have staff that have gone through Marketing Mastery Club and both had immense value in it, right? So it's not like it's just specific to one type of person. This really is, I mean, I didn't intend for it to be this amazing of a training. I mean, obviously I wanted it to be, but I've even gone through it myself again and just been like, wow, this is something that's so incredibly valuable. So that's why I'm including it, because I want it to be affordable, and you're going to see huge wins from this training, which again gives me stories and testimonials of how awesome this program is, if you want to know my true motivation. Okay, so another question I get is, I have staff, or I want to expand into having staff, or I'm so busy that I need to bring on staff. Can you help me out? Every time somebody says, I want to bring on staff or I need to hire somebody new, I ask the last time you raised your prices. So you guys have probably heard me preaching on raising your prices. Raising your prices is a very strategic thing to do in your business. We have a premium or a luxury service. This is not a necessity. People don't need to, we like to think that it is for our clients, but the fact of the matter is that whether your clients have lashes or not, their lives will go on. Some may not feel that way, and we like that. But it is not a necessity. It's not a commodity. It's not like milk or eggs, which drives down the prices because it is one of those necessity things. This is an option. This is something that someone chooses to do for a specific reason, and that can be different for every single client. But for the most part, it's to feel better about themselves. It's to feel more confident, right? So that comes at a price, and you don't have to flex your prices or feel bad that for your premium products or your premium service, somebody can't afford it. That's on them. That's not on you to figure out their financial situation. It's very tedious what we do. It's very physically taxing. So yeah, you should be charging premium prices. So for somebody who gets so busy, that's awesome, but you need to raise your prices several times to be very, very, very expensive in order, first, before ever entertaining the idea of staff. Because if you are so busy that you don't have time to take clients, you don't have time to go through the hiring process, you don't have time to train somebody up the right way and invest in them as an employee to keep them around so that you don't have to keep going through this hamster wheel of hiring people. Definitely go back and listen to the I keep wanting to say Lashcast because that's their podcast, Integrity Lash's interview I did on the Lessons of a Lashpreneur, and they will give you the rundown of what it's like to have staff. If you want to bring on staff, you need to be okay not being a lash artist. You need to be okay that you are managing people. Sometimes it's going to feel like babysitting. You need to be okay with hiring and firing. That's the reality of bringing on staff. It's not that you get to sip on your cocktails at Cabo every other month because you have so much extra free time on your hand. You're going to show up to your pretty salon and look pretty in pictures and magazines and, do your little social media, and then you're going to go home. That is not the reality of it. That is the dream that a lot of people buy into. But that's not the reality of what having staff is. So I just want to be clear about that. So yes, every time somebody asks me, oh, I'm thinking about bringing on staff, I ask, when's the last time you raised your prices? And if it wasn't in the past year, I tell them to raise their prices and then come back and talk to me. You also need the money to pay these people who are going to be working under you. So if you have a lot of extra wiggle room in what you charge, because you will still have to work as a lash artist in order to support the business, then you can still pay yourself. And I've heard of many, many, many lash business owners who brought on staff and they had to stop paying themselves. That's traditional for our beauty industry in general, because there is so much money to go out when there's staff. And your staff is going to be constantly saying, why am I not getting more money? You're making buku bucks. I'm only getting 50% commission, which is not profitable. and then you have to deal with people thinking that you're, you know, living the good life, and yet you're driving a Hyundai and you're eating ramen every night. Just saying. Sorry. Okay, guys, I'm going to go through your questions instead of a lot of these because I want to make sure that you're getting value by watching because, you know, you're here. Oh my goodness, there's so many of you. All right, let's keep going. Hi, guys. Chardonnay Like the Wine is probably my favorite Instagram handle. She's my girl. Every time I see her, I'm like, hey, I need a Chardonnay. All right, let's see. What questions do you have? Oh, man, all my friends are on here. I love it. You know what, Instagram, if you're watching this, please get rid of the join of every single person because it takes forever to go through. Aesthetic Parlor, kindly go over the payment for the course, please. Okay, so we did talk about that. It's $49 a month US. That breaks down to $1.63 a day. In translation of Lash clients, it's less than one returning client a month. That makes sense, right? Because they got to come back at least 2 to 3 times a month, and if they're paying anywhere from $40 to $50 plus tip, they're covering your membership. Kaylee's here. Kaylee is our amazing web designer who formatted the whole website. It looks beautiful. She's awesome. Eyelash City, new member. She did join already. Website. I think my website needs help, especially so I can coordinate with my IG, color scheme, posts, etc. Yes, that's all about branding. So your brand will be your brand identity, which is the color scheme, the fonts, your logo, that kind of stuff. Should be consistent throughout everything. And we'll go into detail on this during the monthly mini training on branding. But yes, if you have this very dark, edgy website, but your Instagram feed is very light, airy, and spa-like, there's a disconnect, right? So in the website training, not only in the branding training, because there's a branding training in the START module that's broader, and then we get into the individual monthly mini training, that will go over kind of how to establish a brand, what that even means. There's a brand identity versus your brand experience, essentially. So there's like the visual aspect of your brand versus the experience and what someone says about your business when you're not around. We get into all that. Redbird Lash Lab, so excited, woohoo! So let's see. How long is the Lash Society course from Got Lashed JA or Ja? Again, it's all based on your experience, your time and energy you put into it. And again, we don't have the data to say on average it takes lash artists this long. There are, I believe there's 13 lessons inside the START module. There's a couple of lessons that are an hour long, but most of them are anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes as far as like the training. Some of them are just worksheets and guides. The build module, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. The Marketing Mastery Club trainings are about an hour each, and there's 4 of them. And then the adhesive training is also an hour. And then there's other worksheets and guides that go along with that. So just kind of giving you an idea of how that works. Christy Lee. Hi, Sunshine. I got lucky in between lash appointments. Love hearing from you. Hello. She was promoting the free workshop. Oh, gosh. Why didn't you tell me? My lipstick's all over the place. She was promoting the free workshop without me even having to ask her. I love that. Amethyst Lounge. Question about the post. If you are part of the group and gain access to posting social media posts, can we change color scheme to stick with our theme of our page? Heck yes, girl. Okay, so how these posts work. Marketing Made Easy versus, you know, social media images that you'll get inside the group. If you are branding your feed, and I will do a whole training on this probably next year in our group, but just to give you a heads up of how I do it is if I'm using an image, I will actually, this is what you get for free from me right now, this training's not going to stay up forever, inside of Canva is where I do all my photo editing of my images. I take a white box and I put it over the top of my image when I'm all done, or if there's a background image, and then I turn up the opacity so it's almost very faint because white is a huge part of my color scheme. So that's a way I can make a true image not look like a photograph, not look so stark against the rest of my white kind of mint and hot pink scheme. White is a very great way to have breathability in your feed. You also want to have pops of color. So my pink and my mint color are kind of branded colors. So I try to include those in certain texts or in images or in like a block of color and then have the text over it. I have specific standards. Like I never have my text in the mint color unless it's in front of the pink background because it's really hard to read. We have a charcoal color that we don't use as part of our branding, but that is mainly for text. So not to get too advanced, but there's ways to, you can also put the image inside of a box that's part of your branded color. You can have, you know, all sorts of different ways to tie in the color because you don't want it to have just be one big blotchy kind of yard sale looking thing where it's like purple, 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 purple. You want to have it nice and kind of light and airy, so the purple can be an accent color that you include in either images or in a background or in text. If that makes sense. Amethyst, great question. Let's keep going. Fawn Lashes, so cute. Fawn Lashes has a little picture of Bambi as her logo. I love that. I'm in an area that is starting to boom with new businesses and new housing develops, and I'm just starting out on the East Coast. Will your coaching help me, or is this for highly populated cities? Girlfriend, you are on the cusp of being the go-to person. Absolutely. I don't care if you have 500 people in your town or 500,000 or 500 million. I don't think there's any 500 million places. Business is business. Right? So I get a lot of, surprisingly in Australia, there's a lot of people who are like, yeah, it's a really small town. In a lot of ways, when you have a really small town, all you have to do is create awareness about eyelash extensions. You don't have to do much marketing other than that. It's just making people aware of it, that it's not just for the Kardashian types, that it's actually for the everyday woman. So a lot of it is just educating people on what eyelash extensions are, not necessarily like having to compare yourself to other lash artists or say why you're unique and different. So absolutely, especially if your town is just starting to grow, this is the time to do it. Can you place for, I'm determined to find this client tomorrow. Your ideal type of client? Sophia Califragilistic. I like that name. Do you keep in contact for the membership as mentorship? Do you keep in contact for the membership as mentorship? I'm confused as to what that statement is. Sophie, if you're still on, will you let me know, Sophie, what that means? And if you're watching the replay later, just shoot me a message so I can understand. Amy, where do we sign up? Link in bio, or you can go to lashpreneur.com/society. It will give you all the details as to what's included in the program and give you plenty of opportunities to enroll. Registration, we are closing the doors Wednesday night, 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hi, honey. It's fine. So we will be closing the doors until next year. I am only marketing this program twice a year because I want to make sure that my time and energy and effort is spent investing in the people that are inside of the group and getting them to where they want to be instead of forever marketing this program. So we are closing the doors in 2 days. So you can hesitate, but you might miss out, and then you'll be living in FOMO land. All right. Oh, Manuela, stop. It's the pink lip that you love. All right. Ms. Nesha Mua signed up last night. Is there a wait to receive the social media bundles? Okay, so for those of you that have already signed up, we are having a whole welcome week next week when we are rolling out everything that you need to know. So for now, just focus on getting inside the start module, going through and starting to implement those trainings. We will map out everything that's included. We have a whole welcome week planned out, whether you can show up live to those or you want to watch the replays, just make sure it's on your radar. So all the social media bundles will be coming out next week. We are planning one Q&A session this month for the start module because I know there's a bunch of questions coming in. Make sure that you get inside of the Facebook group. Yeah, so all that information is going to be rolling out next week. Okay. Eyelash City, countries definitely doesn't matter where running a business is concerned, plus Tara makes it super easy to learn. She is a new member and she is saying this. That didn't come from me. Manuela, Tara is literally the best business mentor. I recommend you all to give the Lashpreneur Society a try. You won't regret it. Okay, I might have to start paying these people. Maybe go ask them for their link. That way we can pay them. I don't know. It gets so awkward when you're reading like amazing things about you. But Tara for Lash President. Don't roll your eyes at me. I'm living my dream, okay? You're just jealous. Oh, God, you guys. Oh, geez. They're like voting. Bye, honey. Vanity House just signed up. So excited. Yay. You guys are cracking me up. Lash Me Lashes just signed up for Lash Society a few hours ago. So excited for all the education and mentoring I'm going to get learned. Yes, girl. Me too. Oh, gosh, you guys. I love this. I love this. Juju, lashing as a mom. Take the hit for paying childcare or wait till you have the clientele. Juju, lashing as a mom. Congratulations. I too am a mom. If you don't, I haven't heard your name before, so you may be fairly new. So when I started my business, my son was 7 months old. When I started the Lashpreneur, I launched the website, and the next day I found out I was pregnant. We'd actually been trying, but it was hard for us to get pregnant the first time around, so I never thought that it was just going to happen on its own. Life is funny like that. And I have an 8-month-old daughter, and I've been able to do this with the business. So you are absolutely capable. So take the hit paying childcare or wait till you have the clientele. I would say find a way to do both. A lot of people come at me with these questions of option A or option B. It's not black and white, right? Like, it doesn't have to be one thing or the other. Find a way to make both of them happen. So that doesn't mean like have your kids around while you're lashing. That doesn't seem like the best way to run a business. But is there a way that you can carve out 2 evenings a week or 2 mornings in a week and work on that as your business building time and your time to take clients? And as you start to get busier and as you start to learn more about how to market yourself to the ideal type of client, can you start to grow that? If you've jumped into a situation, so this was another coaching I did real quick on a woman who had a question last night, that she jumped into one of these salon suites and she is having a hard time making her rent because she kind of bit off more than she could chew. So it's not don't pay your rent or you have to break your lease for the salon suite. Can she rent out a room? Can she rent out her room 2 days or 3 days a week to somebody else, or even 4 days a week, and she takes the lower end? Can she, network with the other people in there to try and get really, maybe even it's offering 50% off to the first 10 clients for the next 3 months, so they're coming consistently. There's ways to go about creating money on demand and not having it be so black and white. What's the compromise? What's the give and take? When your kids are young, and this is just speaking from a mom, there's 2 ways you can approach it. One is you're putting in the work now, and maybe you're sacrificing a little bit of time, but you'll be there when they really need you, and they're aware and they'll remember. Like, my kids are still really young. My son may start to remember how much I'm kind of working right now, but I know when he's in sports and when he's dealing with girl troubles and all that, I'm going to be there and I'm going to be fully present because I'll have built my business and it'll be more stable at that point. Or you say, I'm never going to get this time back. I really want to be present during these years. And when your kids are in school and they're benefiting from being out from underneath your care, then you can start to grow your business then. That's really a personal choice between you and your family, but those are kind of your 2 options as a mom, whether you're investing time, when they're young and they're not really going to remember it so that you can be there for those more memorable times, or you enjoy the time that you have now and don't put so much pressure on yourself to grow this massive empire because you know that this time is precious and that it's not going to be like this forever, and they will go to school and be out of your house. Yeah, all right. Hi guys, I see you requesting to come on with me. For some reason that tanks my connection, so if you could just send a message to me, we can have a little chit chat. I hate that, but that's just, I have to get a new phone. All right, Deja, I'm about to take a lash training class this weekend. What advice do you have for beginner lash artists? Deja, go to thelashpreneur.com and go under Start Your Business. And there's a prep and planning guide that you can download and start going through that. I have it all mapped out if you are not a lash artist yet or you're working for somebody else. No, Christy. Juju, you can do it. We got you. You're Superwoman. I love that. All right. She says, thank you. I started my business when my 3-year-old was born. Now I have an 11-month-old feeling overwhelmed as a business owner. Right there with you. This is all dry shampoo and a good filter. But yeah, girl, you can do it. I mean, you're building a business. This is so when I introduced the Lashpreneur Success, the Lashpreneur Success Path. So if you haven't seen that, if you go and look in my highlights, I think it's still there on the Instagram page. It talks about, there's the prep and planning phase, start your business, build your business, grow your business, and then after that is the Lashpreneur Legacy. And that is where you're leaving a legacy and an impact on our community, on your family, on the lash industry. And for me, that was the Lashpreneur. That's my legacy, right? Like, that's something that fulfills me and is beyond just being a solo lash artist. It's great to be a solo lash artist, and if that fulfills you and it's serving the purpose that you want your business to serve in your life, by all means, don't change that. But there are some of you, there's a lot of you actually, who want to move on from just being behind the chair and you want to have something more, whether that's educating, mentorship, creating curriculum, creating programs, creating product line. We're a lot of creators in here, and so we want to have something that's going to be long-term for us, because being a lash artist is very physically demanding, and it can take its toll on your body, and not everybody can do 20, 30, 40 years as a lash artist. We're still a new industry where I think the longest it's been around is like 12-ish years. So we haven't had this long term of exposure to our adhesives and doing this all day, every day for 40 years. So what is that long-term goal? And for me, that was the Lashpreneur. I didn't know it was at the time, especially when I was building my business. I had no idea that this is where I'd end up, but as soon as it clicked for me, I can't do anything else. All right. Ooh la la spa. I'm currently doing lash training, but I already have a spa and I think can benefit from your training, especially with respect to mindset, and help me treat my business as a side hustle. Poof, I just disappeared. This is round 2, part 2 of the Lashpreneur Society talk. So if you're catching the second replay, go back and watch the first and then continue on with this one. Sorry, my internet just went poof. Okay, so hi guys, thanks for jumping back on. I disappeared. Where'd you go, magic? Okay, so let's get back to some DIY questions. I've had people ask me, they do other services besides lashes. Is the Lashpreneur Society appropriate for them? So as I've mentioned in the past, that what I teach is business. It's just my brain and me being a lash artist and my experience in business. I have niched myself down into being a lash artist business coach. But I'm a business coach. I teach you on business. I just give you lash specific business advice because I felt there was a need in our industry. Clearly there is. And it helps people, it helps lash artists who don't have much business experience or kind of business knowledge make it click for you when I'm saying this, you know, an 8mm client, or, you know, healthy business boundaries when it comes to touch-ups and, you know, improper product application, that kind of stuff. So I'm speaking your language, but I am a business coach first and foremost. I could teach somebody who's selling tires how to run a business with the same things I teach. I would just use tire examples, except I know nothing about tires. I know about lashes. And I built a successful lash business on my own, so I don't tend to like to teach on things that I don't really know about. Usually when you're in my role as like being a coach, as soon as you learn something, you want to teach it, and that's very much true to me. Like, my online business is very different than the lash business, but as soon as I learn something, I find a way to be able to teach it to lash artists. So yeah, so if you do microblading, I do have one woman that I think she only does microblading, and she was still interested because there's nothing like what I do for microbladers out there. And so she asked, would it be appropriate for her to be in the group? So you know what I did? I asked my group, I said, hey, I have somebody who's only does microblading and wants to know if the information is relevant. For those of you who do microblading, because there's a lot of members who do microblading and lashes, I asked them what their input was on her one question, and I told this girl, I will give you the feedback that they give, and then you can make the choice. And she was like, wow, there's a lot of information, a lot of benefit to it. The community is just one component of it, but if you're savvy enough to follow me and take the advice that I have for free on Instagram, or the blogs, or the videos, or the lessons of a Lashpreneur, and you can apply that to your business, there's no reason why the content inside of the Lashpreneur Society wouldn't apply to you. I'm not ready to join now. Can I join later? Sure, but not for another, 2019 is when we're opening up the doors again. So you can wait, but how long do you want to stay stuck? How long can you stay where you're at? There is a cost to staying where you're at. Yes, there's a cost to join the group, but there's also a cost. It may not be financial, or maybe it is. Are you spending your time and energy and money on things that, without clarity and without direction, aren't actually getting you a return and moving your business forward? Do you have a pretty website that you spent $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 on, thinking that's what's going to get me moving ahead, and yet it's not converting clients? Is your website all about you? Is it just pretty but it doesn't function? Web designers, it's hard, and I had a very deep conversation with this about this with my web designer, because she understands marketing, and I was like, how are you different? Because it looks great, but it also works, like it also converts, and I have a very specific marketing mind, so we speak the same language. But I wouldn't have chosen her if all she could do was create a pretty website. Pretty websites don't do jack squat. It actually has to convert the client off of the website into your business. So where was I going with that? Oh, can you wait? So have you spent a lot of money on other things that haven't converted? And then, you know, you've spent $1,500 or $2,000 on lash training that you're still struggling with, and you're complaining over $49 a month to help you actually make more money in your business? Sure, you can wait. But if you're going to, this is just not going to serve you, by all means, please don't sign up because you want to be a part of the cool kids club. I don't know. But I want you to be intentional about the choices that you make in your business from here forward and not operate from a place of fear. If you're worried that you're not good enough or you're not capable enough or this is going to be too overwhelming or maybe you could try and figure it out yourself or it feels uncomfortable to step up and say, you know what, yeah, I do want to learn more about my business and I want to be, I want to have a successful business. If you're afraid of that success, because I know what that's like too, is like, oh man, this is a whole new me that I've never experienced before. I'm so used to the struggle. I'm so comfortable in being stuck and being stressed that I've just become accustomed to it. I call this, being comfortable with the hustle. The hustle is a joke, guys. If the hustle worked, then no matter what you did in your business, if you worked more, you would make more. But I'm assuming a lot of you have worked more and not made more and not had a lot to show for it. So how can you start to work smarter in your business and start to spend your time, energy, and money on the things that are actually going to make a difference in your life and in your business rather than constantly on the hustle hamster wheel to nowhere? Food for thought. Do I do one-on-one coaching? Yes. I know you've heard me say no for a long time. We are offering once a month VIP private coaching to the person that is most engaged in our Facebook group. Facebook groups offer analytics, and they tell you the top 10 people who are the most engaged in the group. And that top person every month will get a free one-on-one coaching call with me for 1 hour. We can talk about anything. We can talk about the sky if you want for an hour, but that is 1 hour for you to, for free, earn your way to getting a one-on-one coaching call with me. So yes, that is the only one-on-one coaching I do. Because I want to reward people who are fostering the community, who are asking for help, asking questions. That to me shows somebody who's hungry and who's willing to make the moves in their business. What I can't stand is somebody who's a victim mentality or thinks everybody else is to blame for why their business is the way that it is, and yet they're sitting there observing everything and not participating. And they're not consuming, they think they're too good for the training. I get this, I've had this asked, I've already started my business, do I have to go through the start module? Yeah, you do. And this is part of the welcome email, you have to come in with the mindset you know nothing about business. Because if you come in with this attitude of, I know everything, I just need this one little piece, that's not why I created the program. Go find somebody else who's going to give you exactly what you want. I created the program because it's a process. It is a step-by-step to get you to where you want to be. And if you skip steps or you don't implement the steps that I'm teaching you, then the whole process falls apart. I don't get the success story out of you because you're not successful because you didn't follow the path. Or the path that you did get to is not something I want to promote because you didn't use my path. This is the path that I've created because it's the process that has worked not just for me, but for the other students in the group. And it's the foundation. The start module is, again, the foundation. So if you come in with, I don't need the start module, I've already started a business, this isn't going to work for you. And I'd rather you cancel your membership and just move on and go find the specific information you want. But I'm giving you the path of the step-by-step. And to get to where you want to be, to being fully booked and beyond, you got to start somewhere. And where you have started in the past hasn't gotten you there, right? That's why you're considering this. You want to be somewhere and you're not there yet. So if you'll trust me and you'll trust in the process that I created, the sky's the limit for us. Both you and me, we can go wherever we need to go. But you have to be coachable. If you're not coachable, that's not something I can change for you. That's an inner work you need to do as to why you're fighting against being coached. One girl came in, she was a new member, and she was going through one of the training, and she asked, can I move on even though I haven't completed this aspect of the worksheet? And I was like, do you need my permission? Well, I didn't know if I should move on or not. I'm like, do you need my permission? This is how coaching works, is you don't need my permission. I'm not going to teach you, I'm not going to tell you what to do in your business. I'm going to teach you to think for yourself and to make the right decisions for your business. So I told her, do you need my permission? Do you need anybody's permission to move forward? Do you think that moving past this training is going to move your business forward? Then do it. You don't need my permission. Anyways, I move on. I don't have the time to invest in this group is one of the objections I've gotten. So when you're looking at how much time this is going to take you, again, totally up to you, totally your call. What we recommend is anywhere from 2 to 5 hours a week. So maybe you'll just watch one training and you work on how you can implement it, and then you kind of pause for a week and kind of marinate over it. Some of the trainings are going to be a little more in-depth and a little more, you need to think through it and you need to work on how you're going to implement it and actually go through the training. And some of it is going to be very bite-sized, kind of done and over with. Some of you are going to Netflix binge watch all of these things, in a couple of days. So we recommend anywhere from committing to 2 to 5 hours a week, either on the monthly trainings, on planning out your social media, that we're going to give you the social media images, going through the success path, any of that. So I get that time is the most precious resource that we have. If you don't have enough time to get your life and your business to where you want it to be, you're probably spending a lot of time on things that are keeping you stuck. So if you've got time to, when you're laying in bed at night, scroll for an hour and a half through Facebook or Instagram, is that really the best use of your time if you're struggling and you're not paying yourself, or you're hurting for clients, or you're working for a really low price? What would the six-figure lash artist version of you be doing? So if you looked at yourself a year from now and said, okay, a year from now I'm going to be a six-figure lash artist, what is that going to look like for you every single day between now and then? Are you going to let clients walk all over you? Are you going to allow people to cancel last minute and not compensate you for your time? Are you going to not have insurance for your business? Are you not going to have contracts and policies in place? Is a six-figure lash artist charging $40 for a touch-up? Is a six-figure lash artist working 8, 10, 12 hours a day? I mean, some of them may be. I don't recommend it. There's a way to not do that. I never took more than, my sweet spot was 4 clients a day. On occasion, I would take 5. By the time I hit 6, I wanted to shank somebody with my tweezers, so I stopped taking 6. For me, my first goal in starting my business was 4 clients a day, 4 days a week, and I hit that, again, within 6 months of opening my business. So then, that's the thing. If you only want to work 2 days and you only want to take 4 clients a day, when you get to that number and you still have more people wanting in, you raise your prices. It's not you keep adding on more clients to the day, you raise your prices. You stick to your schedule, and again, this is something I go in the start module. Tara, shut up. But I have you set your schedule, and anything after that, that's when you start raising your prices, because who cares if clients want to come in? This is the schedule you want to work, and if they want to in on your schedule, then they've got to pay more. Demand dictates price. Just saying, guys, I love teaching. So yeah, if you're spending your time on, think about where you're spending your time. What we get into in the Grow module as well is outsourcing. And we're not talking outsourcing your social media. Because here's the thing with social media, guys. This is the direct reflection of your business. Get on board with social media. You need to be understanding social media. Let's say I don't understand social media and that's your struggle with it, not I hate social media or it doesn't work, because it does. I promise you it does. And I can teach you how it works and how to use it for your business. But when I polled my group a while back and I said, what would be the first thing that you would outsource? It was the marketing, mainly social media. And guys, I have the means of paying people very, very well to do my social media, and I'm still cannot find somebody who can do it as good as me, because I've learned how to do it and I teach what I've learned. And I've engaged in my community, and I run Facebook ads, and I make money off of these platforms and get people into my business. So if you think social media is taking up a lot of time, let's get a process in place that's more efficient so that it doesn't take up more time, but you're still using this amazing platform to get in front of your ideal type of client who, by the way, is on this platform. That's why we do social media. It's not to catch up on people's photos of their food or their cat selfies. If you're spending a lot of personal time on social media, I suggest minimizing that and being on social media just for business, because it is a huge time suck. You can get lost in endlessly scrolling down rabbit holes, following people, getting caught up in drama and politics and everybody's opinion and get offended by it, and you're spending a lot of emotional time and energy on something that does not impact and move your life forward. So I do teach in the Marketing Mastery Club to only use social media from here forward for business, and the rest of your social time needs to be focused on in-person, because we can spend days on our phone and have nothing to show for it. That's the way our society is moving. But your ideal type of client is on these apps, so your business needs to be there as well. So where are you spending your time? Where are you wasting your time that's not moving your business forward? What if instead of like an hour and a half on social media just endlessly scrolling, you actually took some self-care? You went for a walk. You watched your favorite TV show with your boyfriend or your husband, and you just spent time together. There's so many more ways that you could be spending your time, and because you don't have structure around your time, you end up wasting a lot of it. So anyways, let me just touch on some questions because I see you guys asking. I got tons of questions. I love it. Let's go over all the questions. Lash Vision. Hi, Guru. What do you think about mobile lash artists? I think it's the worst idea in the world. The worst. In fact, I saw this guy post, I think it was in Lash Artist Lounge a while back, and he was starting a mobile lash franchise in Texas, I think it was, and I was like, dude, it's a terrible idea, terrible business plan. Okay, so the reason why you're mobile, let's talk about that. And I actually have, there's a really old blog, it was one of the first blogs I released on the website. If you search mobile on thelashpreneur.com, it pops up. I was mobile for 2 months. So I was a spa manager at a place that I should never have been a spa manager at because the owner was awful. And I left there abruptly. And I had 14 clients, no, less than that. I think I had 8 clients that I had built when I was an employee at a spa, and I didn't have anywhere to take them. So I was mobile. I went to their house, maybe, allegedly. California State Board is watching. Set up my station, lashed these few clients there, and it was kind of growing a little bit, like word of mouth was happening. Here's the thing when you're mobile. You can max take maybe 3 or 4 clients in a day, depending on traffic in your city. I would even try to get my clients lined up so that ones that were geographically close were near each other. But if there's an accident, if you're having car troubles, if they're running late, your whole day gets tanked. Right? It's not like them coming to you where you're in one stationary place and you can charge them for being late. If you're late because something out of your control has happened, then that has tanked your whole day. You have no control over your environment. The reason why adhesive needs a controlled environment is because it's a scientific process. So both the temperature and the humidity you have to control. Now, if you're lucky and you have kind of moderate weather year-round, great. But most of us don't live in that. In San Diego the last week, it was 115 outside. If you go to a client's house who doesn't have air conditioning, your glue is not going to work, and they're not going to get the results, and you've both wasted time. And they're not going to pay for lashes that don't last. You cannot control somebody else's environment. You can't control the humidity. You can't, I mean, you could probably have 3 or 4 different glues on you at all times so that whatever the temperature and humidity is, as long as you're kind of within the range of maybe 30 to 60%, you have the right glue for it. But that's killing your profit margin if you have 4 glues that you have to keep fresh every single day, right? And if you're storing your stuff in your car, that temperature fluctuation in your car is not good for your adhesive. Your adhesive needs very neutral, kind of steady climate. Also, by the way, lugging in a massage table back and forth to a client's house is killer on your back. And if you're doing it while they're laying on their couch, that's killer on your back. One of the situations of a very good client of mine, she was a client until the day I stopped lashing, I was doing her mobile lashes, and she lived in an apartment complex near a college. 7 flights up, and in the very back. Now, there was an elevator, but it was about 7 rows of parking spots where the visitor parking was to the elevator. And then it was 7 flights up in the elevator, and then she was in the very back, which was, probably 17, 18 apartments back. Yeah, and I had to bring all of my lash supplies up on my stool, and I pushed it in. I had to then bring the light up, and then I had to lug my big old massage table up. And it took me probably 45 minutes of just getting everything set up, and then we'd have the hour and a half appointment, and then 30 minutes to take down. And fortunately, her husband would help me take it down, but for what I was charging, I wasn't making that much money an hour. Plus the commute time, that's money that you're not, or that's time that you're not getting paid. So being a mobile lash artist, not an effective way to build a business. I understand the desire for it and the need for it when you're struggling and you think that's going to be like the go-to thing. If you're a mobile lash artist, you need to charge triple what you would if you had a physical location, as long as it's legal in your state. And a lot of places it's not legal for you to go into somebody else's home and perform a beauty service. You could risk lawsuits. Nobody would cover you if, say, you damaged something in a client's home or there was a accident with your car or something like that. No insurance company would cover you because it's not within your state's laws for you to go into somebody's home and perform a beauty service. There's a lot of regulations where you can't even do it out of your own home, depending on the state or the country that you're in. But going to somebody else's home, there's probably even more restrictions. It's also a safety issue. You don't know these people that you're going into their home. That's another reason why if you're a home-based lash artist, your growth is inhibited and your ability to market is very different than somebody who has a commercial location, because there's a safety component. There are people all over the world, let's not be dramatic, there are a percentage of the lash clientele who would never go to somebody's home for lash services or for beauty services. I'm one of them. I do not trust a stranger going into her home as to who else might be in the home. I'm very vulnerable by having to have my eyes taped closed. I don't know if the knock on the door is UPS or an intruder or whatever. I'm just not comfortable. I also think of my home, which is messy, and I would show you, but I don't want to put that out on Instagram. I have kids, so my kids' toys are everywhere. We have a dog who sheds and barks. That's just life. So I equate home to that. I don't want to go and pay a premium price for somebody else's home and their dog hair and their grandmother's quilt that I'm now laying under that I don't know when the last time it was washed, and the UPS guy knocking on the door and kids kind of screaming in the background. That's not why I'm paying for luxury services. I'll pay a cheap price if I want a bargain deal and suck it up, but really if you want to charge premium pricing, I don't think you should be in your home. Just saying. That's just my opinion. You don't have to listen to it. And I didn't realize I was going to go off on a tangent. Hi, Kimberly. All right. Jewel, I'm signing up today. Yes, girl. Do you recommend signing up if you're a new lash artist? So, Deja, I don't know if you heard that. I want you to go through the prep and planning guide I have. Gosh, this lipstick is traveling. Sorry. Awkward. Go onto lashpreneur.com. Under Start Your Biz, there's a download called Prep and Planning Guide. Go through that. If you've done most of that, then the Lashpreneur Society is absolutely the next step for you. If not, you've got kind of some action items you can work on in the meantime until we open up registration again and you're ready to move into that role. Just Lash Stylist, you're a new member. I saw you come in. Hi, Lash and Brow Philosophy. Set aside 2 hours to start today. Lash Vision, I'm assuming you're talking about getting into the start module. Yes, the Lash Vision Conference educator, Kimberly, is now a member of the group, and I'm fangirling over her. Raise a Brow, when is the last day to register? Is Wednesday, this Wednesday, 11:59 p.m. Pacific. So do the translation for the conversion for your time zone. We are closing the doors on Wednesday, and then we're focusing on all the new members and the current members. Hi, Glam Doll. All right, just checking through, seeing if there's any more question. You're a lash artist, I just saw that. Lashplicity, thank you for responding. Do you delete old Instagram posts to honor the new branding? No. In all honesty, and guys, I have a ton of content that's a year or more old. I started this, the very first post I did was November 1st, 2016 for the Lashpreneur. Maybe once a month I'll get somebody who's, stalked me and gone way far back and likes one image, but people aren't scrolling that far back in your feed. They're not. Maybe, there's 3 pictures in a row, so maybe the max they would get to is like 5 or 6 rows, maybe 10 for somebody who's really ambitious. So no, I would actually let the growth and the progression transition. But really, people are going to look at maybe the first 9 rows consistently. And so if you've got a good kind of, what do they call that, grid, then I don't see any need to go back and delete stuff. Now, if you've got personal information on there because it was a sorry, alarm went off. If it was a personal account that you then transitioned into being professional account, then yeah, I would go remove the personal pictures that you don't want out there professionally, or if it's like photos of you at the club in 2014, maybe we go back and take those out. All right. Yes, you can join the lashpreneur.com/society. All the information is there. Can you sign up with debit card? I just went to, but it's asking for PayPal email. I don't have PayPal. Yes, you can. So if you continue through PayPal, you'll have the option of signing up with a credit card, or if you have a PayPal account, you have both options. If you have trouble with that, you can message me, or you can email us at hi@thelashpreneur.com, and we'll walk you through exactly how to do that. But yes, you don't have to have a PayPal account. It's just easier if you do to log into your PayPal account, or you can use a credit or a debit card. And I did get the question of, does it come out monthly? Yes, it auto debits every month. You will go into, if you want to cancel at any time, you have full control over that. You don't even have to email us or let us know anything. You just go and you cancel it. We will get a notification of you canceling your subscription, and you are able to stay inside the Facebook group and the course until the end of your current pay period. In which case the site will then automatically kick you out and we will remove you from the Facebook group. But you have that full month from whatever you paid last to stay in the group. You're Lash artist. Are we still able to purchase one-on-one coaching from you without being a member? Nope. Sorry guys. My time, it would be cost prohibitive, to be honest with you. You have access to me inside of the group. There's a hashtag that's specifically for me to search, because there's a lot of you and there's only one of me, that I will go through and I will answer stuff. And then if you're the most engaged member in our community, that's how you win a one-on-one VIP coaching session with me. So I used to do one-on-one coaching. I do miss it. I was able to do it with some of my members at the Vegas show because I wanted to be in person with them. But I would have to charge so much for it to be worth my time to be able to do that, because here's the thing, you guys, you don't have a lot of new questions. You don't have a lot of different questions from each other. So for me, it would be selfish of me to only give information to one person, which is why I do the group coaching model, because it's not like reinventing the wheel. Yes, maybe you have specific scenarios that you want to have kind of a private conversation on, but to get you through those, it's really the same questions and a lot of same trainings that other people do. So one thing that we're probably going to do in the live Q&As is do what's called hot seat trainings. So hot seat trainings are where basically I bring you on the live with me, where we're both on video, and I talk you through and I coach you just like I would in a one-on-one, but it's for everybody else to view. For them to also learn. So instead of just impacting one person, both you and I can impact dozens, if not hundreds of women, just depending on how big this thing gets. But it's a way for us to all learn from each other, because that's what this community is about. We're empowering women, right? So I want everybody to be empowered instead of just one person at a time, because again, I would have to charge an insane amount of rate. Because my goal is to impact and empower as many women as possible. That doesn't mean that you're a number. Let me be clear, this is not some sort of corporate cog in a machine. This is just maximizing the amount of people who can access the information and make it affordable. So that's the whole reason why group coaching is where my business is going, is because I want it to be affordable for the people that need the information. And if you need one-on-one coaching, then you have the opportunity to earn that by being the most engaged member. And that resets every month. So every month it's a fresh start. So if one month you're like, I don't have the time this month to engage in the community, but I know September is usually a slower month, so I'm going to work my butt off trying to get that private coaching. That's an option for you. All right. What do you do if you're just starting out but not enough clients to rent a booth out of someone's commercial spot, but you don't recommend mobile techs? So again, this is where it's very black and white, right? You're like, well, I'm just starting out and I don't have clients to pay for a booth rent, but you don't want me to be a mobile tech. What's the in-between? Can you work a part-time job that helps support you until your lash business can support you? The START module is getting you to be working full-time in your lash business, where that's supporting you. That means knowing your break-even pricing, knowing your goal income for having for transitioning into full-time in your business. So a lot of questions I get is, I'm full-time working in my day job, but then I do lashes on the side. I really want to be working as a full-time lash artist. When does that happen? So there's always going to be risk, right? Being an entrepreneur is full of risk. There's always going to be, it's never going to be the perfect time for you to go into anything. It's never going to be, never more perfect time to have kids, never perfect time to, I don't know, vacuum, do laundry, whatever. But there's always going to be some sort of risk, and we want to minimize the amount of risk, but accept that there is always going to be a risk. But what you need to do is trust yourself that you're going to figure it out. So I can help you understand and how to figure that out for you as to when that time is and when that shift is to go from side hustle into full-time that's now supporting me, because every one of us who has worked full-time in our business, there was that shift. So if you're just starting out, maybe go work as an employee at a lash salon. Just be careful. Make sure you read your employment contract as far as non-competes. If you're an independent contractor, it's most likely that a non-compete does not apply to you. It's just for employee-employer relationships. But again, an employment lawyer for a free consultation can kind of advise you as to what that looks like if you're already in that place. Maybe you are, renting a room from someone else instead of signing a lease yourself, and you're renting out 1 or 2 days a week. If they are, if it's a lash artist or a massage therapist or somebody who's doing, Tuesday through Saturday, maybe you take up Sundays and Mondays where it's a, affordable price for you to pay rent. You don't have a whole lot of overhead, and the rent is very inexpensive, that you can start to build a clientele that way until what gets you to transition full-time into your lash business is when you don't have enough time to get the clients in that are wanting to get in with you, right? So if you are doing it as a side hustle, you're working full-time elsewhere to support yourself, and you're booked pretty much most nights of the week, or you don't want to have to work any more nights, and the only option you have is leaving your day job in order to open up more time for you, that's when you transition, and you have to know what that number is. So if you're making $2,000 or $3,000 a month in your day job, how many clients do you need coming back for regular touch-ups in order to get you to be, in order for it to make sense for you to have the same income coming in for you to transition full-time into your business? And I go over how to do that inside the Start module. Eve Forever, I didn't see you at the Vegas show. I was like a nomad there, and I kept getting messages, where are you? And I'm like, I'm here. And then they'd message me, they'd be there, and I'd be somewhere else. That was something I did talk about with Kimber of Borboleta, and I was like, I probably should plan to be at specific booths and like hang out in booths and talk business with other lash companies, customers. I didn't think to do that. Plus I had my family, so I was only there for like 4 hours. So I'm sorry, next time we'll come up with something a little more official. My goal for next year is to have an actual physical event, a live in-person event at the Vegas show before the Vegas show for members only. I don't really want to spoil the crap out of you guys there. Just saying. Joy Shea Marie, do you recommend to join if you are not yet licensed but will be in the future? Okay, my dear, that's where you're going to go and download the prep and planning guide on the website. It's free. And again, go through that, and if you've done most of that, then the Lashpreneur Society is your next step. If not, then that's your action steps to kind of work towards being ready and for the Lashpreneur Society to be appropriate for you. Yes, Kimber's amazing, guys. She's awesome. Don't let the Instagram life fool you. I keep telling her, it looks like you're just really hoity-toity. She's the most down-to-earth person I think I've ever met, and her husband's awesome too. All right, guys, let me go over a few more questions. Can I just DIY this info myself? Because I do give a lot of free information, don't I? Yes, I do. So the DIYers who think that they can, YouTube a business together, you can't. It might take you 2 years, and you might quit before you ever see any level. My husband's phone has alarms on it. If you try to DIY it, it takes a lot longer. I'm guilty of this in my early days of DIYing, even my website. I watched 4 or 5 YouTube videos and was trying to figure out how to create a Wix website. And then I just got to the point where I was like, this is actually costing, your time is worth something. Even if you're not making a lot of money now, it's worth a lot. Even your time spent with your family or your friends, that's worth something. So I'd rather see you outsource things like websites and let the experts actually do their jobs, as long as you've qualified them that they're actually going to do what they say they're going to do. Outsource your grocery shopping because your time has value to it. So can you DIY it? Okay, sure, you could. But how do you feel about those who DIY their lash certifications through YouTube? Kind of icky, right? You can duct tape your business together, and I'm guilty of this, and if my assistant Jenny is watching, she unduct taped my business last year when I brought her on. It was, oh, try this new program and this new software and have 12 different steps for this thing to try and accomplish this one function to it. And, you know, I learned one aspect of marketing, but it doesn't tie in with the rest of them. Or I'm taking advice from antiquated dinosaurs of the baby boomer generation. Not saying anybody in my family's like that, but they're telling me to go hand out business cards door to door or go drop my, you know, flyers off at somebody's office who I don't know. It's not how we market nowadays, guys, and that's a lot of time and energy. So, yes, you could probably DIY your way or Dr. Google your way to some sort of business, but I'm giving you the step-by-steps, and I'm telling you, you don't have to. I'm telling you the most efficient and effective way to get the results you want sooner rather than 2 years down the road and, you know, lots of money spent on things that don't work. One of the ways that I got suckered into something that cost me a lot of money that I wish somebody had told me not to do was this local news station contacted me 2 days before I was supposed to go live with my business and open my business. And they said, we can get you 50,000 visitors every month to your website because we'll have an ad on our page and this is the amount of traffic we get. And it's gonna, you know, it's gonna be amazing for your business. You'll get tons of leads, blah, blah, blah. All they guaranteed was that there would be views to my website because that was something we could track. And it was $250 a month, I think, and it was a 6-month contract. And if I wanted to cancel the contract, I had to pay out the rest of the contract. So I accepted it. And I got 0 clients in from that, and I was paying it every month for 6 months. A lot of you have fallen into the Yelp situation where they're like, oh yeah, advertise with Yelp, and they stalk you forever, and they harass you, and they call you all the time, and you end up showing up on like dentist and carpet cleaner Yelp pages, but you paid for a Yelp ad. Not really worth your time, your effort, and your money to invest in that kind of stuff, when there's a lot of ways that you can do it for free or pay as little as $5 a day on a Facebook ad and get in front of the exact type of client you want to bring into your business. Groupon, it's another way you could build a business, but it's not sustainable because it's not the right types of clients because they're loyal to the deal and not you. So when you raise your prices, all those people, adios. I don't know if you can hear me. Sorry about that. Notification came up, and when I tried to swipe it, it was took me off. Okay, so let's wrap up. The Lashpreneur Society is a strategic and simplified approach to growing your business. Yes, you can do a lot of this on your own. Yes, you can look back at a lot of my trainings and kind of try and piece together the system and the way that they work, or you can just do what I've already mapped out for you inside the Lashpreneur Society. It really is up to you. If you have questions about it, please, by all means, please message me and ask. Don't think that I'm too busy to have a conversation with you. I answer every single message I get. I'm not one of those influencers who's like, I'm too good to talk to the little people. You're who I'm serving. You're who I want to see succeed, so it doesn't do me any good to ignore you. So don't think that, you know, I'm too busy to talk to you. I got kids, but they can wait. It's fine. And this is not a scheme to get you a bunch of clients, guys. This is not a way to just fill your books. Groupon can do that for you. I want you to have the right types of clients who love you and the business you created and who you actually enjoy seeing every single day. We've all had PITAs. We've all had those pain in the ass clients that we never want to see again, and we just dread when they are on our schedule. I don't want that for you. I've been in that situation where you're firing a client and it's hard and it's yucky. And if we have to consistently do that because we're drawing in the wrong types of clients, or we get the young girls who want the Kardashian lashes, who don't take care of them, who complain about retention, they can't afford higher prices, that's not a business that I want for you. Now, if that's your ideal type of client and we set some healthy boundaries, by all means, rock out the Kardashian lashes. But I want you to have a business that fulfills you for the reason why you got into business. And that's probably because you wanted more freedom with your time and with your money. So with that being said, I will wrap up today. Please feel free to message me if you have any questions about the Lashpreneur Society or where you're at or if it's appropriate. You can register for the Lashpreneur Society either through the link in the bio or thelashpreneur.com/society. I want to bring up the 3 bonuses that we have for this registration period only, and that's the Facebook ads for amateurs. So that got one of my members 212 clicks to her website. Or 212 post clicks, 3,600 reach. I'm going to post the picture in the story so you can see her results based on this training that she took and then feedback that she got. to really amplify this post. She's still getting a response from it and still getting engagement and bookings off the post, and she stopped the ad a while ago. So she's had amazing results with this Facebook ads training. The Plan Your Gram training, so plan a month's worth of Instagram posts in one day, plus 2 free social media or Marketing Made Easy products. So the little image bundles that I have on the website, we're going to give you 2 free ones to kind of help build out your social media plan. So essentially for the next month or 2, once you go through this training, your social media will be taken care of, so you'll have the time to focus on going through the start and the build and the grow modules inside the course. And then obviously Marketing Mastery Club is now a part of the build module inside the Lashpreneur Society. So those are bonuses that are available to you. So if you have questions, please let me know. Otherwise, hopefully I'll see you on the inside. Have a good one.